All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. As you see from the title, it says Donald Trump ain't stopping SHIT. You see, Donald Trump ain't stopping nothing, man. A digital currency must come. Why? Because it's prophecy. You see, and I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip here in a few, and I pretty much do a commentary off the clip I play. But as we know, according to prophecy, what things are set to take place here in these latter days, and us as believers, we should be rooted and grounded to the point that when we hear certain things that's in opposition to what the Bible say, we should already know, it don't hold no weight. You see, for example, just like Trump, you had Ron DeSantis a couple months ago, which is he's the governor of Florida. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida, but the point is, a couple months ago, he was saying how he ain't gonna allow Florida to adopt CBDCs, or he ain't gonna allow Florida to adopt a digital currency. Well, now you have Donald J. Trump, right, coming on the scene and telling Americans that if you vote for him and if he get in office this year, then America don't have to worry about a CBDC, because according to Donald J. Trump, he gonna stop it. He ain't gonna allow a CBDC to be mandated here in America. Well, the point I want to do this lesson is that, again, as you see from the title, Donald Trump ain't stopping shit, man. He ain't stopping nothing. You see? Because what? We know that a digital currency must come. It's prophecy. And that's when the scriptures say, be rooted and grounded in this truth for times like this. This is another presidential ploy. They tell you what they want you to hear, or what you want to hear. You see, so they go say things that's gonna tickle your fancy, so you can vote for them, so they can get your vote, man. So he really just talking. But we know, as believers, according to prophecy, these things must be. And going back to being rooted and grounded, there's going to be many other things said and done here on out that's not according to what the Bible say. You see, that's not according to how things go play out according to prophecy, man. But a lot of things go be said and done by this government, you see, by the higher ups. But matter of fact, I'm going to get a scripture real quick. I'm going to get a quick scripture. Let me share my screen. Yeah, Shalom Tala Akim Aqua who maybe tuning in. Let me share my screen real quick. Because again, it's about to be a lot of deception, a lot of things said, a lot of things done, but we have to be rooted and grounded as believers, as I was saying, knowing what's to come. Nobody should in this time tell us what ain't and what is. We should know it. And if people come saying things that's not according to prophecy, we should know right then and there, well, look, that's not what the Bible say. So that ain't gonna be true, man. So when Donald Trump, as he coming out saying, if you get me in office, America, then it ain't gonna be no CBDCs. Well, according to the Bible, you wrong, because it gotta come. A digital currency must come, man. Even if Donald Trump said ain't, or whoever said, Ron DeSantis, he said ain't, it gotta come. But let's snag this real quick. This is Matthew 24. This is something Yahweh Shai said. Let's see. This is Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 22. I'm gonna start at 21. Matthew chapter 24 and 21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Talking about the times we coming in, Jacob's trouble. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. It's the point, verse 23 and 24. It says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Mashiach, or there, believe it not. So the Lord is saying, if anybody come to us in these latter days, and it ain't got to specifically be saying, oh, look, Yahweh Shah over here. No, if people come to us and tell us, look, you got help over here, right? You can go to this concentration camp. They'll give you food. You can go to Red Cross and FEMA. They'll help you out. You know, go to this man in the woods. He got a cabin. He'll help you out. So if anybody come to us as if they could save us or as if they got salvation for us, the Lord said, don't believe them. The point is, verse 24 says, for there shall arise false anointed, right? And false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. In so much, right? Remember, great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, it says they shall deceive the very elect. So the point I wanted to get that, a lot of things will be said and done here in these latter days by the government, right? By the higher ups. They go say things to make it seem as if it's for your best interest, right? It's for the people. But again, it's false prophets, false anointed. That's going to show false signs, great signs and wonders. But they're going to be false. It says, in so much that if it was possible, they could deceive the very elect. So when Donald Trump coming out saying stuff like this, like if you vote me as president, ain't gonna be no CBDCs. That can get people excited or confident to say, well, I'm gonna vote for him because I don't want my, my financial history to be tracked. I don't want to be tracked. The point is, we should know what the Bible say as believers and rooted and grounded in that to the point though, if we hear these things, one, I'm gonna say, if we hear these things and it's not according to prophecy, we shouldn't hear it and let that persuade us to believe in what the world's saying. What the world's saying shouldn't persuade us to not believe in the scriptures. You see, we should know what's coming, man. No matter what the world said, who said, we know what's coming. Stand on that. But let's hop into it. So again, it says, Donald Trump ain't stopping nothing. A digital currency must come, man. Let's get this real quick before I play this quick video. Isaiah 46 and this verse 9 and verse 10. Isaiah 46 and verse 9, it says, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. It's the point. Verse 10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning. So the end of the world and everything that's going to happen in the end of the world have already been set since the beginning of the world. And I mind you, before Donald Trump was born, these things was already set. Before before anybody who don't believe in the Bible and don't want the Bible to come to pass, guess what? These things that was written that will happen, it was already said and done before you was even thought about. So because you came on the earth and started talking, you see, and don't believe, do that mean these things that was written thousands of years ahead of time gonna change because Donald Trump don't want it to, or Ron DeSantis don't want it to, or these little Americans out here who have no idea what's going on because they don't want certain things to happen? Let's get a quick precept. Do that mean it's not going to happen? No, man, it will happen. Let's get this real quick, and I'm going to go back to that Isaiah. This Romans 3 and verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Sure, their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect. So what if people don't believe that Bible prophecy won't come to pass? And I mind you, they can directly not believe, because when they hear these things and hear it in the Bible, they can say it ain't gonna come to pass, or they can indirectly not believe. Because indirectly is what Trump said. He said CBDCs won't happen if I'm in charge. Well, you indirectly not believe in the Bible because the Bible said it will. You see? So whether people indirectly believe the script, don't believe the scriptures, or directly don't believe the scriptures, because they don't believe, do that make what the Most High said Will it not come to pass now because people don't believe? Will missiles not hit America because an atheist don't think it will? Will Yahweh Shah not come from the sky because somebody think a sky daddy not real? It's gonna happen. So what if they don't believe? It says, shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? It says, God forbid. So no, just because they don't believe, they don't want it to happen, don't mean it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It says, for the Most High forbid, yeah, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sins and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So again, these things was already decided before any man was, before this current society was, it got to happen. You see? But back to Isaiah 46 and verse 10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure, man. So the Lord gonna do what it said in these scriptures to do. A digital currency will come to pass. You see, in a CBDC, a central banking digital currency, that's how it's gonna start. That's gonna be the first phase of it before the actual RFID micro chip be implemented. It's gonna start in phases. That's the last phase. It's gonna start in phases. When the CBDC be implemented, the point is the old way of exchanging and using money will be out the door with dollars and buying and selling and in certain apps. It's gonna be over with. Now it's gonna be a new system. And it might give you a new app like the Fed Now app. It might send you the Fed Now card, right? That's gonna work over time. And then you probably could get a little bracelet, so you can scan it with your wrist. Then over time, they might have it to shit AI get involved. Who knows? But eventually it's gonna lead to that physical device, which is likened to a small grain of rice, that RFID micro chip. That's gonna be the last step. And mind you, nobody can stop it, man. It's gonna happen. It will happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a quick vid. It's about 7 minutes. It's about 7 minutes long that I'll play. And this is Clayton Morris from Redacted. Now I wanted to play this video last night for the Thursday live, but it was still on my spirit. I kind of go ahead and just play it. But we see the things that's coming, man, and we should be rooted in the prophecies. That's another thing, man. Be assured of the prophecies. Let me get another precept. So when we hear these things, we should know, well, shit, the Bible ain't said that a CBDC gotta come. Or when these other Israelite teachers say, well, Jacob's trouble gay, y'all, it ain't gonna be Jacob's trouble. We know what the Bible say, man. You see? Don't let these feel-good stories get you off on the seriousness or the reality of what the Bible really talking about. Don't let Trump tell you it ain't gonna be no CBDCs and you start feeling good to say, well, that's good. Well, I might just go vote for Trump. You see? No, man. Reality gonna kick in soon, and it's not a good one for a lot of people. But let's read this, how we got to be sure of these things that we have been taught. Let's start right here. This is Second Peter chapter 1 and verse 19. It says, we also have a more sure word of prophecy. So it's sure, man, what we have been taught and what we've been teaching, we shouldn't doubt that. We should know everything we've been teaching and that we have been taught is for sure, man. 100%. It says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that you take heed, as light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. It says, knowing this first. So before man could believe, this the first thing he got to understand before he want to hop into the scriptures. It says, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation, right? What we read in this Bible, man can't make this up. As we read Isaiah 46, these things was confirmed and settled before a world was even here, before people was, animals and elements was. The Lord word and these prophecies was already thought up in his mind and confirmed, man. And man can't think of that. For example, when Moses told us, because he seen it from the Lord, that we was gonna go on ships or captivity again on ships, man can't even think about what's gonna happen in today. I was away from now. Man can't think about what's gonna happen tomorrow. So how is it that just regular men could write these things of something that was gonna be, man, in detail, that was gonna happen thousands of years later? Man can't do that. So what we talking about ain't just from regular man. It says, but verse 21, for the prophecy came not in the old time by the will of man, but by holy men spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. And that's the point. These ancient prophets was moved by the Holy Spirit of things they even heard from the Lord or seen from the Lord. The point is they heard it or seen it, so they witnessed it. A witness is somebody who's seen or heard something. So if they seen or heard these things that was going to take place from the Most High, what that mean? They will take place. Even if Donald Trump or whoever don't want them to, man. The currency, the dollar will collapse, life will change, and the currency will go digital according to prophecy, man. You see? So let's go ahead and play this vid. And we'll probably get a couple more precepts and we'll move on. I'll get this brother precept real quick, Daniela. This Sirach 14:7. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he declares wickedness. That's what I was looking for last night. But let's go ahead and play this vid. Let me make sure it's playing. All right, cool.
We are watching the US dollar collapsing in real time and on purpose. Klaus Schwab and the globalists that all got together this week at Davos. We are watching the US dollar collapsing in real time and on purpose. Klaus Schwab and the globalists that all got together this week at Davos and run the World Economic Forum, they are counting on it. They want the US dollar to collapse. And so does, by the way, Janet Yellen and President Biden. They want it to happen so they can roll out a CBDC, a central bank digital currency that is backed by Wall Street, where they will have total control over every aspect of your life. And we're going to show you how they plan to do this in a moment. Yes, your US dollar won't be run by Washington. It'll be run by Wall Street bankers, the same guys responsible for the 2008 financial collapse, by the way. But they might have just met their match in Donald Trump with a major announcement this week. And we'll get to that part of the story here in a moment. First of all, the United States dollar is, of course, backed by debt. It's not backed by gold or silver or anything else. It's
right, the heavy debt, like Habakkuk 2 say, I bought yacht.
Backed by debt. And countries around the world are dumping U.S. debt. They're dumping U.S. treasuries in favor of gold and silver-backed currencies. So the United States can't operate. It can't function if people aren't loaning us money and buying U.S. treasury bills. But this is all part of the plan. The plan has been to run the US dollar into the ground on purpose so that Wall Street banks could issue a CBDC, a central bank digital currency.
And that's the plan for all these countries, man, to go digital. So how is it that, especially when we know prophecy say that this is going to be something that's going to take place across all the world, man? This is for all countries. But because Trump said America ain't gonna have it, so America gonna be the only one, right? Come on, man. This is what this is where the world is going. Why? Because the Bible say so, man.
Digital US dollar that's not backed by the United States Treasury, but
now, mind you, even think about the stuff like this, because we know when presidential debates come, these men just gotta say anything to get people on their side. And what's one of the main topics of digital currency? So he just saying anything so people could think it's even possible. You see? Come on, man. And now, mind you, it's a race between these countries to see who gonna be the new leader of the digital world. They competing for that. Who gonna be the leader of this new digital age, man? So if America don't want to go digital like every other country in the world is going, so you telling me America gonna be willing to be left behind? Come on, it don't make sense. Think about it. It don't make sense. So the whole world going digital, currency's changing to digital, but America gonna be left behind. Now think about it. If America don't go digital, like Trump said, how is we gonna still get by and survive? Because nobody's gonna be using the dollar no more. Everybody's going digital. Who gonna use the dollar? So what we gonna use? Clearly showing Trump just talking. He clearly just talking. But he's talking for the ones who have no idea what's going on. They don't know that an MOTB gotta come. The currency Gotta go digital according to prophecy, man. Don't get wooed and swayed or like these other camps might hear Trump say that and say, you see, how it's gonna be an MOTB when Trump said it ain't even gonna come if he get in office. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Don't be persuaded or taken from the truth because these men just throwing off stuff. It gotta come. Again, the simple things is if every other country going digital, it is a race to see who gonna lead this new digital world. And America always want to be at the top. You telling me the whole world gonna surpass dollars, go digital, but America ain't gonna take that leap? And then if that happened when the whole world going digital, nobody using a dollar no more, how is Americans still gonna get by with nobody using a dollar? America gonna be forced to go digital, man. Not just because in prophecy, because the whole world doing it. How else they gonna be able to buy and trade? How else they allies gonna be able to get by as well? Everybody going digital. So what Trump talking about, if you in the know, you know what he's saying is completely not according to the spirit, man. The spirit of things, the spirit of prophecy. It's not. It gotta happen. But let's play it.
Instead, it's owned and operated by Wall Street. And this is the most important part of this news. Investigative journalist Whitney Webb is perhaps the smartest person in the world on how the CBDC plan will come together. She just wrote an in-depth expose on how this elite-backed digital payment system will come together. I spoke to her this week, and she explained to me how Wall Street plans to roll this out with the coordination of the White House and Hollywood. And spying on Americans will be central to this new CBDC.
We know that these top Wall Street banks or whatever companies are chosen by the US government to be able to issue these digital dollars. They're going to be full on to collaborate with the surveillance agenda of the US, which is, increasingly a financial surveillance agenda as well. And there's a lot of efforts to eliminate right now online and financial privacy for Americans. And we need to be very wary of that. And Wall Street has shown time and again that they're very willing to collaborate.
So let that sink in for a moment. The same global elites that forced us into lockdowns and vaccine mandates and caused the housing collapse are the very same people that will control your money. They will surveil everything you buy and everywhere you go. Even the Financial Times confirms it's all about control in a brand new report that they call New Money. Quote, as CBDCs become more common, central banks will be able to maintain a higher degree of control over the flow of currency, while still enabling citizens to make contactless payments without leaving the purview of the central bank. CBDCs also provide...
As we talked about this many times, that's the point of it, because we using regular banks, commercial banks right now, as far as Chase, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan, so on and so forth, those type of banks. But remember, commercial banks, although, because I'm gonna say this, although it's like we already using a form of digital currency, because you can have you can send money on Cash App, Venmo, you can check your bank account on the app, right? And you can open the app and see numbers in your account. So it already seems as if we using or in a digital society as far as the currency goes, because you go to the store, you don't have to take out physical dollars, you can scan a card. So it seems as if we got digital currency. But this the thing, right now we got banking digital currency. Like my man Richard Warner said, we have banking digital currency, and that's the commercial banks. This is the thing. So although we're using these commercial banks and we still have our buying and selling on the phone or technology, which seem as digital, this is where it gets different when you put that C in front of BDC, because right now it's banking digital currency. But the banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, they can't tell you if you don't agree with this law, you can't use this money. They can't give you rules and regulations on where to shop, how to shop, what to think, what to be like, where to go, what to use your money on. They can't tell you that because it's just a bank. But this is where the game changes. When you put that C in front of that BDC, now instead of banking digital currencies, now it changed to central banking digital currency. And where it makes the thing at, central bank ain't like a regular commercial bank. Central bank is tied to the government. Therefore, the central bank can give rules and regulations because it's tied to the government. And then, because it's a whole chain of things. First, you got like the BIS, that's the Bank of International Settlements. And then on down after that, you got each and every central bank. Every country got a central bank. And then under the central banks, you have the commercial banks. So the point is, if central banks make a law on how you can use your money, guess who by default got to uphold that? The commercial banks. So seeing commercial banks can't tell us how to use our money, now it goes a step further. So they go come down from the central bank and they're going to force the commercial bank to do it, man, because it's all coming from the government. Therefore, people ain't going to have no choice, because somebody could easily say, well, I ain't going to use Wells Fargo no more. I ain't going to use Chase no more. This is the thing. Everybody going to have to get down with the system. There's going to be nowhere around it, man. A central bank, now you under the government's eyes and you know, and rules and regulations. That's what's going to make the difference. And they could tell you how to spend your money. A regular banking digital currencies, just how we got now, regular banks can't tell you how to spend your money, but a central bank can, because it's tied to the government, man.
Central banks with unprecedented control over fiscal and monetary policies. As national responses to the COVID-19 pandemic proved, effective implementation of monetary policy can be a matter of life and death. Okay. Yeah, it's a matter of life and death that they have this control. We can't have people refusing to take the jabs or refusing to stay locked in their houses. It's life and death, people. This isn't fantasy. The World Economic Forum in Davos said the same thing this week. The power of a digital dollar isn't just about money, it's about following everything you do.
Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID.
Right.
You see, going into that, why you need to change and the benefits and the perks of it, man.
And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID. And certainly that it was digital. And certainly that was biometric. And we've really worked with all our partners to actually help that being, to grow this. And the interesting part of it is that, yes, it is very necessary for financial services, but not only.
Sure.
It's also good for school enrollment. It's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not. It's very good to actually to get your subsidies, from the government. So this has not only effect to the financial services. It's a very important issue.
Yeah.
You see, so it's bigger than just financial services. Health go beyond that. Everything about you go beyond that. Your ID ain't no more point can you show me your license and registration? No, it's gonna be on there with your financials, man.
Yeah, we know everything about you. But just follow the money. Wall Street is already hiring Hollywood A-list actors like Idris Elba to push million-dollar marketing campaigns for this.
Hey, remember Apostle Hall said this a while back. He said this a couple years ago, that when they start pushing this MOTB or the digital currency, what did Apostle Hall say? They're going to start using these celebrities to do it. They already starting. They're going to start using these celebrities, man.
For this money system. Watch this.
Opportunity welcomed me to a better future. Not by solving my problems for me. Action! But by empowering me to craft my own success.
Puedo mandarle dinero a mi familia.
Oh, and that's how they'll sell it to us. This digital dollar is more equitable than the old US dollar.
Right, you have rappers and actors getting the C-Help and telling their followers on Instagram, man, y'all better get y'all. Right, you be called lame if you ain't got one. You see, I'm telling you, hey, when the new lockdown come, yeah, they gonna do the stimulus checks again, but this time it ain't gonna be just a check being sent to your mail. It's gonna be digital, man. It's going to be digital. So it's going to be gradualism, how to get the people into buying into the system. So whether Trump got to say so or not, it don't matter. It's prophecy, man. It must happen.
That you've been used to. Think about all the people that can't get bank accounts. Now all they need is a smartphone, and Wall Street will take care of you. They will let you have access to this new US digital dollar. But of course, it's all about control. They want to control every aspect of your life, and controlling your money supply is the ultimate power play, as Catherine Austin Fitts points out.
The reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because
You heard that? Let's put that back. She said CBDCs is like the last shutting of the gate. This the last step. This the last matter. Let me get a quick precept. This the last step in the so-called white man rule. This the last major move he gonna try to make while he got power. And it even kind of paint a picture of that in Revelation the 13th chapter. Now check this out. So when you go into Revelation the 13th chapter, this goes into the rulership that the so-called white man was going to have on the earth with the Greeks, the Romans, and even on down to America today, the revised Roman Empire. So this going into the power structure of the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, right? And again, it mentions the Greeks, the Romans, even on down to how Russia will be the one, the feet of a barrier will be the one to take them out the way. But this is what I want to highlight, because starting from verse 9 on down, it was going into America, right? America and this new beast, which is America, NATO, and the EU, which makes up that old revised Roman Empire. So at the time Esau was ruling, in the end of the world, is go name one thing, even at the end of this chapter, right? So at the end of his captivity is one thing that he was going to do, or that he was going to try to give the world. Now, mind you, Revelation 13, it goes into Esau rulership in the earth. And at the end of this chapter, it mentions something he go try to do at the end of his rulership. Let's see what it is, because again, what this woman said is the last straw, pretty much.
as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and
CBDCs, right?
Vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate.
It's the last shutting of the gate. It's his last hurrah to try to do something in the earth. So as she said, CBDCs, a digital currency, is the last shutting of the gate. So when we read Revelation 13, when it goes into the power structure of Esau on the earth, at the end of the chapter, in other words, the last shutting of the gate, this is what he was going to try to do at the end of his rulership. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So look, everybody gonna have to do it. So where is Trump coming in at when he said it ain't gonna happen? It says, and he calls of all, Trump. It ain't say all except Babylon the Great. Oh, and he calls of all save that great city. No, it says all, Trump. All, man. It ain't just Donald Trump. This for all these Israelite camps who say the MOTB ain't to see help, so on and so forth, who they don't think a digital currency gonna come. This for them too. It's gonna happen, man. It's in the same book you read. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the number of the, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So we see at the end of Esau rulership, this was going to be one of the things he was going to do. Give a mark. The mark of his system. The mark to prove you down with this society, man. And that's going to be getting that grain of rice in you. And it says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 666. That's clear the time we living in, Esau, man. But as this woman said, she looked like Miss Doubtfire. What's that movie, Mrs. Doubtfire? You see? Let me see. Yeah, that's what she looked like. Miss Doubtfire said, you see? That's her. You see? But Miss Doubtfire, what she said this is going to be the last step pretty much of this society. A digital ID, the juice passport, and the CBDC. This is the last step to the society from this woman. And according to prophecy, Revelation 13, that was the last thing Esau was going to do in his rulership. Give his mark, man. You see?
Around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate.
The last shutting of the gate, man. We're at the end of the world.
It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom. And we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on.
So by
See? So that's what I was saying. We already got BDCs, bank digital currencies, because we use or we buy and sell with the phones now. You can send cash apps and Venmos and PayPals, right? You can buy and sell with Apple Pay. So we already got digital currency in a form, but a bank like Wells Fargo can't tell you how to spend your money. They can't take your money from you if you don't abide by the government rules. But what makes the difference? When you put the C in front, bank and digital currency, and now it becomes central bank digital currency, that's what make the difference, because the central bank is tied to the government and these commercial banks is under the central banks. So therefore, when the government make laws, the central bank gonna make the same laws, and now it could be linked to your money. So therefore, since these commercial banks is under the central banks, now Wells Fargo could say, well, the government said, if you don't agree with this, you can't get your money. If you don't spend your money within this amount of time, it's going to be taken away. Now, laws could be applied to your finances because it's central bank now. The government tied to it. That's the difference, man. Now they could track and trace everything you do, how you spend, where you going. Is you eating too much meat, or is you trying to go green for real? You see, you try to go green for real, or is you eating too much meat? Is you taking up too much carbon? See, regular Wells Fargo and Chase couldn't do that. Now they got the government on their side. Now they say, well, the government made the law, so we got to abide by it. Sorry. Come on, man.
Where we can spend money and what we can spend money on.
So by Wall Street controlling your money in a digital wallet, they'll be able to monitor and control everything you do.
Boom.
Want to take an airplane to visit your friends? Sorry, you've gone over your carbon allowance this month. That's why this week Donald Trump might have upended everything with his attack.
Well, see, these Edomites, you know, these people who be playing on like the Thursday lives, and this is why we got to step up over these people. You know, these people who be giving out, you know, these whistleblowers, right? These different news sites that we be showing who give good information. This is what we got to step up over these people, because they hear stuff like Donald Trump saying, if I get in office, it ain't gonna be no CBDC, and they buy into the shit. They think he for real because they don't know prophecy and that it gotta happen. So that gives these people hope. So now they want to get Trump in office, the hope, well, the dollar could survive and we don't have to go digital. Oh, you know, let's put our hope in Trump. This is maybe possible. At the end of the day, this is where understanding the Bible is important, because it don't matter what we hear from these people, whether it sound good, it may feel good to hear. We know what the Bible say. And if something ain't according to what the scriptures say, we could count it off as false, man. And put it out there to say, look, what Trump's saying ain't gonna stop shit, man. The MOTB will come, which is that digital grain of rice, that RFID micro C-HIP. But as soon as the economy go digital, for example, if the economy crashed today, when we wake up, they ain't gonna be saying you got to get the RFID micro C-HIP. No, it's gonna be gradual. It's gonna be phases to it. The first phase, they see the economy go down, then they might start sending digital stimulus checks, right? Then after a while, you know, you might be on lockdown and the stimulus checks becoming digital. In order to get it, you got to sign up with the FedNow app with your bank, though. You see? They ain't just sending it regular digital. You got to sign up with the FedNow app in order to get your digital stimmy, man. Your digital stimulus check. You got to sign up with the FedNow. Which FedNow, the Federal Reserve, is the American central bank. So that's probably going to be like the first phase. You sign up with the app. Now we sending you digital stimulus checks while you're in lockdown again. because who knows what this Black Swan event gonna be. Then after that, the second phase might be, they might tell you, well, look, we're gonna create an app. We're gonna create an app. We're gonna send you a FedNow debit card. So you can use your FedNow debit card. You see, on the app. Then it might go down to something else. They might send out, I don't know, wristbands. Wristbands. If everybody won't get if you don't want, get the wristbands, you can't get your stimulus check. Then phase 4, 5, I don't know, I'm just giving out examples. Then the fourth phase, another emergency might hit, another Black Swan event might hit, to where they say, okay, look, fuck all that app shit. You need to get this in you. It's terrorist attacks everywhere. It's unprecedented times. We need to track and make sure all Americans are protected and safe with these immigrants in America. So get this thing in you, so we can know where you at, and you can still get your digital money. You ain't got to worry about immigrants coming in and stealing. So that's kind of how they're going to push it on the people, man. It's all going to be gradual, and it's going to seem like it's here to help you. So when we see people like Trump saying, if I'm patting his chest, if I'm in office, this not going to happen. Well, Mr. Donald J. Trump, it got to happen. So even us as believers, when we hear these things when we hear these things from the government, from these different reporters, that they saying something that's not according to what the Bible say or what we teach, don't let that weaken your faith on what we teach, as if what we saying ain't gonna come to pass because they said, Trump said, well, if I'm in office of CBDC, ain't no, man. We know what it is, man. Don't let these people push your faith to the side and get you believing in what they saying to make you feel good. Remember, it says it's going to be false messiahs, false prophets, showing many signs and great wonders, that if it was possible, they're going to deceive the very elect. We got to know what's written, man. Be rooted and grounded. So when we do hear these things, we can warn the sheep and say, look, no, that's not right. It's going to come.
On CBDCs, fresh off his stunning. Sorry, you've gone over your carbon allowance this month. That's why this week Donald Trump might have upended everything with his attack on CBDCs. Fresh off his stunning win in Iowa, Trump announced if he's elected president, he will ban CBDCs.
And tonight, now, before I put it, after all we just talked about, seeing how it's clear this thing is coming, the digital currency. I'm gonna be quick because I'm about to end it. Seeing it's clear it's gonna come, and seeing that all countries are in a race, literally, to see who gonna be the leader of this new digital age. So everybody is rushing to go digital and to establish their new economy to be the leader of the new world. So you telling me, after all this, America loving to be the head of everything as the world is going digital, everybody going digital, so America they gonna be left behind? So America gonna be the only country in the world that's not gonna have a digital currency? Now, if that is true, and Trump get in office, as all these countries, even American allies, going digital, so America, you still gonna have the dollar? How's life gonna go by when you just using a dollar, when oil, these like the Saudi Arabia, they ain't trying to tie the oil, UAE, they ain't trying to tie the oil to the dollar no more. So everybody going digital, your enemies and allies, but you're gonna be the only one with a dollar. How is you gonna survive? So even that, it don't make sense. Now, according to real life, all these elites, countries, everybody planning that it's gotta be a one world order, but America go be exempt. Come on, man, it gotta happen. I'm also making a
on CBDC.
You know, when people do presidential races, they just gotta say shit to make you want to vote for him. Trump just saying shit.
Fresh off his stunning win in Iowa, Trump announced if he's elected president, he will ban CBDCs.
And tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that? You know what they're doing.
And the thing is, it already started. It started with FedNow. See, this is the thing. See, they could just tell American shit. Bro, we've been on this. Like, we've been paying attention. See, now we see what the perks is of going into even the small things of prophecy, would seem like a not so insignificant article. We see what the lead up is to a CBDC. So Trump saying he gonna ban it. The thing is, Trump, it already started. FedNow was the first phase, bro. FedNow was the first phase to get the infrastructure up and running. So he's saying he gonna ban it. The point is, it's already kickstarted. So what are you really talking about? But we know these things. He could tell the average American that, but we ain't on the loop, man.
Doing such a tyranny as your president, I will never
Yeah,
allow that.
To president,
Getting a little
he
hot
would
right now.
ban CBDCs.
And tonight, I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. You know about that? You know what they're doing. Such a currency would give a federal government, our federal government, the absolute control over your money. They could take your money. You wouldn't even know it was gone. This would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I will stop it from coming to America.
CBDCs would give the
Man.
federal government absolute
That nigga don't believe that shit. I'm gonna put this in the chat so y'all. That's pretty much the whole video anyway. Because the last couple minutes he gonna go into sponsors. He gonna go into sponsors. But let's snag this real quick. Oh, hold on. I see the brother Benaya had one. This Ciroc 13 and 4. It says a rich person will use you, and it's the GNT version. Ciroc 13 and 4 GNT, the brother Benaya out there in Dallas. It says a rich person will use you as long as he can, profit from it, but when you need him, he will leave you helpless. Right? That's cold, man. You see? And Esau gonna use everybody and force. Let's get this real quick and force them to get the MOTB because he gonna profit. He gonna be able to track you, trace you, tell you what you could buy, what you can't buy. You see? But let's wind it down. This Revelation 3 and 10. This is Yahushua speaking. He says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So us as believers, if we continue to endure in this truth, believing through the suffering, through the trials, the Lord said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now, what's the hour of temptation? That's when Jacob's trouble kick off. Now, it ain't a specific hour as if, my hour at 7 o'clock. When your hour is on mine ain't to 2:30. No, this hour of temptation is when Jacob's trouble start until the day Yahushua come. It's going to be hard times, famine, so on and so forth. And every person back will be against the wall. Now, at this same time, the MOTB going to be mandated. And this going to be an out. This is going to be a way to eat. This is going to be a way to get sleep. This is going to be a way for you to be comfortable and get shelter in a concentration camp or something. The point is, when times get hard for everybody, they're going to have an option to get by, but the option will be to get that MOTB. And when each person have that thought, they're at their wits end, that temptation go hit. Should I go up to this concentration camp and just say fuck it because I'm hungry, because I see they eating over there, or should I just, as they say in the world, thug it out? Everybody gonna be tempted to either go to this government for help, and if you do, you're gonna have to get that MOTB. The hour of temptation is coming upon all the world and all man. Let's read it again. That's why we gotta have hope in what Yahushua said, that he gonna keep us from this time, man. It says, Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. This is the point, which shall come upon all the world, I guess, except America, right? Trump. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. But again, I guess that's except for America, man. This coming upon all the world. All the world, man. Everybody will be tried. And you know what? This just came to mind. You know what prove it got to be mandated? Even what Trump say? Because Revelation 14 said those who take it, when Yahushua come back, they're going to have to be burnt. So the point is, if Yahushua coming back to kill those who got down with the digital currency and took the sea hip, what that mean, Trump? It's going to happen. It gotta happen. If people who took it gonna die when Yahushua come back, what that mean? It gotta happen before Yahushua come back, so Trump can't stop it. Let me read that real quick. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, right, this system and this image, here it is, and receive his mark in his forehead or his hand. So if you get that MOTB, it says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath for the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the reason I wanted to get that is because if Yahushua coming back and he gonna kill those who took this MOTB, Trump, what that mean? You ain't gonna stop it from coming, because if people gonna buy into it and take it according to prophecy, and Yahushua go come back and kill him, Trump, what that mean? You ain't gonna stop it. People gonna take this and people go buy into it, and people gonna get destroyed for that, man. I got one more. Well, I might have two more. Then I end it though. There's Isaiah chapter 55, right? There's Isaiah 55 and verse 10. It says, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven and return not thither. It said, right. So you know how rain, when it rain and when snow come down, with snow is water too, it just freeze on its way down. But you know how water come down from the sky, right? And it says, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So the Lord gave us an analogy, because verse 12 of verse 11 gonna give us the reason he gave this analogy of water coming down and doing what it's supposed to do. Let's read it again. It says, Isaiah 55 and 11, for as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven and return not thither, but watereth the earth and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So the Lord said, so just as rain come down and it don't, as soon as it hit the ground, it don't bounce back up like a boomerang and return. But no, it come down, whether it's snow or rain, it come down, that water get into the soil. And after it get into the soil, it produce, it brings forth, it make things happen. It brings forth vegetation forth to give food to people. So the Lord says, verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it, man. So the Lord is saying, just as rain come down from the sky and it don't bounce back up to the heavens when it hit the ground, but in fact, it go into the ground, water the earth, and do what it's supposed to do and bring forth. The Lord said, my word will be the same way. It's going to go out from my mouth, which is from my prophets. It's not going to come back to me without making something happen. But when it go out, it's going to accomplish that which I please. And he said, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. So if the Lord mouthpiece, which is the prophets, saying the MOTB going to come and the digital system will happen, guess what? It's going to go out and produce. It's going to happen. It ain't going to go back to the Lord void without it taking place in the earth, man. This gonna happen. If water ever bounce back when it fall from the sky like a boomerang, then the Lord word might not come to pass. But the point is, water never do that. It go into the earth and do what it's supposed to do and bring forth and produce the same way the Lord word is. Since it's been going into the earth, it's been producing. These prophecies been coming to pass, man. You see? And now we here. Now we here at the end, waiting on the last two prophecies to take place. Right, which is the MOTB being mandated, Trump or Ron DeSantis, and World War III missiles being shot off. Because Jacob's trouble, that's going to be going on in the midst of those two taking place, man. But let's end it off with this. This is Isaiah chapter 24. And is it 20? No, Isaiah 14, Salaki. So again, we ain't got to trip about what these people say, you know, who don't know the Bible. They can say what they want, what's not going to be, what's not going to happen. A CBDC never going to come to America. Man, we know what the Bible say. There's Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 26. It says, this is the purpose that is purpose upon the whole earth. And that is the hand that is stretched upon all nations. For Yahweh of hosts have purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Let's get that in another translation. Let's see what it says. Isaiah 14 and 26, and I ended after this. NLT, it says, I have a plan for the whole earth. a hand of judgment upon all the nations. So the Lord said he got a plan for the whole earth. It says, verse 27, Yahweh of heaven's armies has spoken, and who can change his plans? Trump, we got to talk. Come on, man. Trump, it says, who can change the Most High plans? Ron DeSantis, it says, who can change the Most High plans? To these Republican voters who don't want a CBDC, who can change the Most High plans? To all these non-believers out there, these atheists, these 2/3, these other camps who don't believe the true breakdown of the scriptures, who can change the Most High plans? It says, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai of heaven's armies has spoken, and who can change his plans? When his hand is raised, who can stop him, man? And the Lord hand raised, man. Ain't nobody about to stop the Lord from doing what he do, man. Not even Donald J. Look at it. Look. Come on, man. Look. Come on, man. Trump literally got a turkey neck. Hey, come on, man. But I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. But again, we know what's coming, man. Be assured in prophecy, man. No matter what these people say, we know what's coming, man. But I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing, and we almost out of here, man. And with that, shalom. The water for tuning in. The water for y'all brothers, for them precepts as well. Shalom. I'm going to read this too. 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's a mic drop. Shalom.